try to get out, but get pulled back in. Look at this cold world I'm trapped in. No one by my side, but this frozen wind. Look at this cold world, just look at this cold world. You know they're never satisfied. The weight drag me down into the deep, let it swallow me, swallow me. You know you won't change it if you try. The weight drag me down, just look at this, look at this, look at this. Look all around, wanna change my mind, searching for a sign, for a better life. But all I can see is trapped in ice. Look at this cold world, just look at this cold world. You know they're never satisfied. When drag me down into the deep, let it swallow me, swallow me. You know you won't change it if you try. When drag me down, just look at this, look at this, look at this.
Shalom YouTube, it's your boy Micaiah, aka the Hawkeye Hebrew, coming at you with another video. And I'm back on the Frostbite Bow Warden. Been a minute since I messed around with this build, but let's go ahead and get into it. So go ahead and buff up my stats. We're coming in at 14,000 max magicka. We got 29,000 health, 23,000 max stamina. Our recoveries are coming in at 1,400 on the mag and 1,600 stam recovery. As far as the weapon and spell damage, we are looking at 5,800. We got 19% crit. Let's see, buff up. Our pen is coming in at 7,800. We have 24,000 resistances on our front bar. And on the back, we got 31 and 30, so pretty tanky. 2,100 crit resistance. We have 15 points in the health, 49 in the stamina. As you can see, we're using the Warrior Munda Stone. We got the Smoke Bear Hunch food, and my character is a red guard. First 5-piece set we're using is Hrothgar's Chill. This is the focal point of the build. This is the same set I had on the last build. And this is the set that's giving us our super dope ice explosion. This is one of my favorite sets in the game, easily. It gives you a line of health, a line of armor, a line of pen, and then on the 5-piece it says stunning or immobilizing your enemy causes them to burst with frost magic, applying the chilled status effect and dealing 13% of their total physical and spell resistance as frost damage. And then it says this can occur every 7 seconds, and it ignores spell resistance and cannot be blocked. So that's a whole mouthful, but the main thing to take away from it is every 7 seconds we can immobilize our enemy with Bombard to activate this set, or we can stun them with Magnum Shot to also activate this set. So it's going off quite a lot, and it ignores resistances, so it does some pretty decent damage. You see I got this in a sharpened bow with the damage enchant on it, and then I have a random ice staff back here. I ran out of materials to craft my second 5-piece set, which I guess we'll go ahead and get into it. Oblivion's Foe. It's another set that I've used recently, but what makes this set really nice is it adds a dot effect to your soul magic ability. So I have Chilling Soul on the back bar, and it does some pretty decent damage. So yeah, I got the Chilling Soul, and then I have the damage over time aspect on the middle part, and then the Major Breach on here. So that's actually that 7,800 pin that I showed you in the beginning. You can add an extra 6k to that. But yeah, this is how this skill right here is the way that we're activating the Oblivion's Foe set. So what you could do, I didn't have the pieces to do it, but go Hrothgar's Chill on the front bar, Oblivion's Foe on the back bar, and then you can use a 2-piece monster set and the heavy trainee chest. That's the more ideal way to set this up. But yeah, and then as far as the weights, you want a heavy, 1 light, and 5 medium. So, and then I got Hakijo, the multi-effect enchantment on my helmet, chest, and legs, and then everything else is stamina. You may move those around your glyphs depending on what race your character is, so that's more of a personal thing. But yeah, you want ideally a Oblivion's Foe back bar ice staff with the double dot poisons. And then as far as my jewelry, I have 2 Hrothgar jewelry pieces infused with damage, and then Marken Ring of Majesty. Marken is, I find, the just best overall damage mythic for like a bow setup, and it gives you extra resistances, which is always nice. So if you want to swap this out for Ring of the Wild Hunt or something else, you definitely can. Again, that's another personal preference that you can add. And yeah, those are the sets. As far as monster helmet recommendations, you see I just got this 1-piece Gerald's on for the damage. I would probably go 2 pieces of Balorix here, and you'd be good. That'd be even more damage and more pin. So, and then Blood Spawn is always nice as well. The ulti regen, the extra tankiness, that'll be my other option. As far as the skills, we're using Bombard. Bombard is nice because it deals a really good upfront amount of burst damage, and it freezes enemies in place. Y'all know everybody is really fast in today's meta, so this kind of messes up their movement. You can pull enemies out of stealth with this if you shoot it in the right direction and hit them. So this is also nice for that. But this does a lot of like really just raw damage, and with the Hrothgar's Chill, it's even better. Bird of Prey, this is our snare removal, minor berserk passively. I have healing contingency on here, and this is healing for a pretty good amount as well. I like having this here. Gives us a nice burst heal, a heal over time, and then it gives us our minor intellect buffs, giving us extra recovery. But then the other skill that I was using here is Living Trellis, and I don't know, I kind of like this setup more than the Living Trellis. So, but keep in mind, if you don't use Living Trellis, you're not going to have access to major mending. So I guess that's one of those trade-offs. And then Magnum Shot, that's the other ability that I was using. So stuns and immobilizes work on separate cooldowns. So the beauty of this build is you can immobilize your enemy, and then while they're immobilized, you can stun them as well. They're on 2 separate cooldowns. And the ideal is to just keep your enemy rooted in place to where they can't move. Then we have Lethal Arrow. This is giving us minor defile to our enemies, reducing their healing. It's applying the poison status effect, so that's a really nice skill. Then I have Toxic Barrage here. The idea is to get Meteor, but after I grinded Meteor or on my Magic Templar build, I did not feel like grinding it anymore. So the ideal ultimate here is for you to run Meteor, and then you can drop the Meteor and bombard your enemy. That way they can't run away from it or block it. But Toxic Barrage does a lot of damage, so it's a really nice single target damage skill. As far as the back bar, like I said, we have Chilling Soul. The beauty of this skill is it deals a burst damage, and then it has a damage over time effect. So when I usually cock back a heavy attack into a Chilling Soul, and what that does is it applies my double dot poisons, and then it also applies the dot from the Chilling Soul skill. So you be seeing the enemy like just burning away with dot pressure, and that's really nice. Ice Fortress, this is our armor buff. Polar Wind is our other heal. Resolving Vigor, Bull Netch, and then Northern Storm. And yeah, this ultimate does a lot of damage. So if you're surrounded, this is the go-to move right here. It also gives you major protection, so it really helps you stay alive in some clutch moments. As far as the champion points, I went with Focus Mending, Master at Arms, Ironclad, and then I took Untamed Aggression just to get some extra weapon and spell damage out of the build. Then on the red tree, yeah, I went with Bastion to do more damage to Sorcerer and Arcanist shields, Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, and Rejuvenation. You got this recovery also not showing up in your stat sheet, so you got some pretty good recoveries on here. You could swap, probably drop Rejuvenation for Celerity, or I know CP is more of a personal touch, so you can change these up however you like. And then as in the green tree, I just took Gifted Rider, and this I just threw some stuff on there because this don't matter for PvP. But yeah, that's the build. If you got any ideas on how to tweak the build and make it better, let me know down in the comment section, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.